Hey guys, welcome back to Down the Stretch. For tips for racing at Caymanas Park for Saturday, the 12th of July, 2025, 10 race program. So let's just get right into it. The first race, 3-year-olds and up, optional claiming, 350,000 to 250,000, native bred 6-year-olds and up, non-owners of 3, and native bred 5-year-olds, maiden. A field of 8, they go 7 furlongs. This race is named for groom Cecil Chambers. I'm going to boil this race down to 4. They're going to be the 3, Rohan Kabir, the 4, Nalas Bushman, the 6, 6th Avenue, and the 8, Fault Line. Okay, Rohan Kabir. At his best, probably has the beating of this field, but this horse is now 9 years old and plagued by unsoundness. Comes in here with 126 pounds, but Eric Horton will take off 4 kilos for trainer Welch Suter. Last time out was the 18th of January for class above this, finishing 5th by 17 lengths to Let Him Fly. Let Him Fly was originally nominated to run here, but has been scratched. And Let Him Fly, I think, would have been the big favorite if he started here. So Rohan Kabir, if coming in here, say 75 to 80% fit, should definitely have a shot at fighting this out. His last win, though, was back in April of 2024, 6.5 furlongs, when winning by 9 3/4 lengths. So if a fit Rohan Kabir turns up, I think he's going to have a shot at fighting this race out. But that's the big question sign. Does the fit Rohan Kabir turn up? The 4, Nalas Bushman, 10-year-old gelding, 118 pounds. Ratajmir, we are claiming 4 kilos for Anthony Dixon. This horse is what you call a deep closer. He doesn't get rolling until they come at the top of the lane. This class, he runs at this level fairly well. He won a race back in October, the class above this, at this distance, coming from 15 lengths, 8th at the half mile to win by a length, beating Sensational Goal. Since then, 3 starts. Last time out was 4th by 5 lengths. At this level, going 7.5 furlongs. Again, way off the pace, 12 by 16 lengths at the half mile, but flew to finish only beating 5 lengths to Maya. That was some fit set of horses there. Also in that race was E&I Lynx, and Nalas Bushman broke very slow at starting gate. They've taken off the blinkers now, so they don't even want to try to get him down early. They just want to sit back and see if the pace folds. And if the pacers crumble, this is the horse I think going to be finishing best of all in the stretch. The 6, the horse I think they have to beat, is going to be 6th Avenue. Shaheem Gordon will claim 4 kilos for Stedman Curtis. Last time out, class above this, 6.5 furlongs, was beaten 25 lengths by Let Him Fly. Before that, though, at this level, going 6.5 furlongs, made all the run to win by 4 lengths, beating General Chief and Bad Investment. So I think this 6th Avenue is fit. Has run recent races, working out, come to this race. Has a workout on the 20th of June, 5 furlongs straight in 105.2. Like workouts like that, I think is just keeping a horse fit and make sure that he's sound. So I think the 6th Avenue is sound and fit. Definitely one of the pace horses in the race, and if they allow the 6th Avenue to dictate the terms, they might not get back to him. And my dark horse in the race is going to be the 8, Fault Line, 126 pounds. Philip Parchment is now called back for duties here. He's the hot man who won with him last time out back in April for Philip Lee. They have not called for an apprentice to take off any weight over that 126 pounds. So that's telling me that Fault Line is sound, Fault Line is fit, but they want an aggressive rider in his back. Last 3 starts, horrible runs. His last time out was beaten 59 lengths. But if he goes back to the 19th of April performance against better than these, where he came from off the pace to win by a length, beating Heroin, Tequila Flight at 7.5 furlongs, if that Fault Line turns up, even with 126 pounds, would not surprise me if he upsets all and sundry. So those are the 4 I'm boiling it down to. And as I said, 6th Avenue looks like the horse they're going to have to beat. A lot of question signs with Rohan Kabir. And if the pace setters go too fast, they're going to have to try to hold off Fault Line and Nalas Bushman. The second race, native bred 3-year-olds, Donna's up 2, and imported 3-year-olds and up maiden. A field of 7 going 6 furlongs. This race is named for Sir John Mordecai, other racing personality. I'm going to boil this race down to 4 horses. They're going to be the 1, Brompton Boy, the 3, Rocket Fire Seb, the 4, I Am Outstanding, and the 6, Sashon. Okay, Brompton Boy, Wesley Henry riding here for Anthony Nunes. A winner back in April, maiden condition race going this distance, making all the running to win by 4.5 lengths from Prince Kazir and Alchemy of Souls. So Prince Kazir running some good races recently. Last time out, 29th of June, going 5 furlongs straight, 4th by 3 lengths at the quarter pole to finish 2nd by half a length to Miss Marbella and imported horses. Had Rocket Fire set behind in that race. So that's saying good for the chances here of this Brompton Boy. It does have a lot of speed, and from the one draw, it comes out fast, and gets to relax up front. Could be a dangerous horse in the stretch, but facing some useful looking imported horses. Number 3, Rocket Fire Seb, finished third on debut to Miss Marbella and Brampton Boy, but that can be excused. That was the first time this colt was running. Workout come to this race, 7th of July, galloped 4 furlongs in 48.3. Looks ready. Ryan Lewis riding here for Spencer Chung, and an improved run from this Rocket Fire Seb is expected. The 4, I'm Outstanding. Aaron Satcher riding here for Peter John Passad. 3 starts to date on debut back in March. 6 furlongs. Stayed on strong to finish second by a length to Brahma Bull. After that, came back over the 5 furlong straight, made all the run to win by a length and 3/4, beating Native Flyer and Alive. Both those horses have come back to win. Last time out was a disappointing run at this level at 7 furlongs. I think was a bit stretched out too much. Starting the pace early before fading to finish 11 by 23 lengths behind an out-of-class looking Prolific Prince, who won in 1:26.3. Big Buzz was second there, and Enthusiasm finished third. Enthusiasm running some good races now, so that race, very good horses. So I'm Outstanding was coming out of a tough bunch. Coming into this race, has a workout 6th of July where he breezed 5 furlong in 1:06.3. So as I said, that kind of workout sounds slow, but I think that's just a maintenance workout. That's just a workout to keep him fit and make sure he's sound. Next horse is going to be the 6th horse. Very interesting horse, Sashon. Now, Sashon, trained by Ron Crichton, who has 2 horses in this race. He has Sashit in the race as well. Sashit, I would have picked in this race, but Sashit is unreliable. Dwells at the start every time she runs. She would be a contender here if she comes out of those gates, but that's a big question sign, so that's why I'm kind of bypassing Sashit. Not saying that she can't upset this field, but I'm just questioning if she will jump. But her stablemate, Sashon, out of big screen by Miss Brown Sugar, by Big Brown. Radish Roman gets it right here for Ron Crichton. Sizzling at exercise. She has a 2 furlong workout in 23.4. She has a 3 furlong workout in 37. Her most impressive workout was out the gates, 4 furlongs straight in 46.2 by a minute and 3/5 with Sashit. They both work together. She did beat Sashit in the exercise. I'm thinking Sashit came out of the gate slow in the workout, not sure. But last workout come to this race was 4 furlongs in 50 and 4/5. So this Sashon looks like a horse that potentially has a lot of speed. And when an unknown horse like this comes into a race like this, you have to give her a good shot. So those are the 4 that boil it down to. I'm not going to stick my neck out and say, oh, this horse looks like a sure shot winner. You have some 2 competitive looking local bred horses, and we have this imported debutant Sashon working well, and we have Rocket Fire Seb, who made his debut and should be much better for the run. So I think the race comes down to one of those 4. The 3rd race, 3 years and up, claiming 1.5 million to 1.2 million. A field of 8 going 7 furlongs. This is named after jockey Donald Andrade. I'm going to boil this race down to 4. They're going to be the 1, Burn Notice, the 3, Milos, the 5, Money Monster, and the 8, Mr. Senator. Okay, Burn Notice. Demar Williams claiming 3 kilos here for Captain Marlon Brown. Disappointing run last time out at this level going 8 furlongs, but faced 2 drop-down horses, Money Miser, Sunny T, and Chippy, and couldn't keep pace with them early and faded to finish 4th by 20 lengths. So that could be excused. Before that, at this level, going 6.5 furlongs, started pace before pouring off in the final furlong to beat Awesome Anthony, who's present today, and Rani Bangala, who ran in front of him last time out. So if the fit Burn Notice turns up here, which I think he is, I think 7 furlongs is just about right. The mile last time I think was stretching it a bit, but at 7 furlongs from this one draw, does have tactical speed to start the pace. Burn Notice I think is in a live shot of pulling this off. The 3, Milos. Richie Shakes claiming 3 kilos here for Michael Caine Jr. Last time it was second by 3/4 a length to James, who was dropping down in class at this level. So that was a good run by Milos. Before that was beaten by Burn Notice by 14 lengths at 6.5 furlongs. Early and then faded. So something probably went wrong there with this Milos, because he does have a win at this distance back in December at this level, beating March and Shoot and Life is Life, and was checked at the quarter pole in that race and still won by half a length. Consistent also has a win back in March at this level going 5 furlongs straight. So versatile, sprints, and can get up to 7 furlongs. Coming in here fit, Michael Caine has now taken off the tongue tie. So maybe this horse is having, with the tongue tie and figure 8, some breathing problems. So I'm going to try and make him more comfortable. I think that would be my assessment of taking off the tongue ties to make Milos be more comfortable. Although he has run in the tongue tie in the last 8 starts. But very fit. The this horse fights and giving Milos a shot here in this event. The 5, the horse I think they're going to have to beat if the right money monster turns up. Comes in with 120 pounds. Radish Roman riding here for Adrian Prince. Adrian Prince is on fire right now. This money monster represents the class horse of the race, but hasn't been out since the 18th of January, when running at this level, finishing 7th by 13 lengths to Sunny T and Chippy. Something obviously went wrong there. That's why he's just returning. Before that was 2nd by 14 lengths to Barnaby at 7.5 furlongs. And his other good run was back in September of last year, 6.5 furlongs, finishing 2nd to Pack Plays. So when big horses come to the country, this is the horse who goes and greets them. So if the right money monster turns up at this distance, he's not a pace horse. He tends to sit off the fractions and then comes a big run late. And if he sits back and he comes in here fit and the pace collapse up front, I definitely think money monster will be flying. They have drilled him coming to this race, the 28th of June. A 5 furlong work out the gate, 5 furlong straight in 59 and 3 by 46.2 for the first furlong. So they're making sure that he's ready to run and has trotted and hacked coming into this race. Radish Roman in the saddle. Looks like the horse they're going all have to beat. And the 8, Mr. Senator. Now, Mr. Senator has been running in overnight allowance for the past 8 starts. Last time out was 3rd by 14 lengths, beaten 14 lengths by 2 way better horses, Gurvana and Supremacy, after coming out very slow at the start, out of the starting gates. So he will also benefit if there's a hot pace early, because he's a slugger. Romario Spence will claim 3 kilos for Anthony Nunes, and Anthony Nunes knows what he's doing when he drops the start at this level. He knows that if the pace collapses up front, his horse definitely will be sustaining his run in the stretch. So if he jumps well and doesn't get tailed off too early, and they do get themselves into a speed duel in the early stages, I think Mr. Senator will definitely be staying on strong at the finish. Those are the 4 I'm boiling it down to, and as I said, if the right money monster turns up, probably not going to be a race. The 4th race, native bred 5-year-olds and up, non-was up 2, and imported 5-year-olds and up maiden. A field of 9 going 6.5 furlongs. This race is named after the stallion, the Medic. This is one of those races that you want to approach with caution. Caution. This race is anybody's race. Okay, so I'm going to boil this race down to 5 horses. There are going to be the 2, Mo Aviator, the 4, Tapping In, the 6, Double the Cash, the 8, Money Must, and the 9, Leading Lad. Okay, Mo Aviator. Philip Parchment right near for Ricardo Brown. Last time out, 5.5 furlongs. Finished 4th by 12 lengths to Money Box. So that was not a bad run, even though he was beaten 12 lengths. His last good run was back in February at 6 furlongs, beaten into 2nd by a length and a half by Kismet. Kismet has been running some fairly good races in recent times, but that race, Mo Aviator finished lame. So definitely concerning, does seem to have his issues. Is trotting coming to this race? So probably sound, because trotting generally is just to keep a horse in shape and to make sure that he doesn't break down. They call for Philip Parchment, so they want an aggressive rider on him. So I'm thinking he's sound enough to have a good shot in this event. The 4, Tapping In, Omar Walker gets a ride here for Barrington Dawes. Good run last time, 5 furlongs round. Had the lead, and then I was battling in the stretch to finish 2nd to Toots. Was to run on the 15th of June, but was injured and scratched. Comes back here, being one of the speed horses in the race, although 6.5 furlongs, probably going to be testing his stamina a little bit, but as I said, being one of the fitter horses in the race and does have the speed, trotting, cantering, coming to the race, so kept sharp and seems sound. Looks like the horse they're going to have to try to catch. The 6, a long shot alike in the race, Double the Cash. Now, Double the Cash, Ricardo Carr claiming 4 kilos here for Donovan Plummer. Nothing in his last 2 starts. Last time out, 7.5 furlongs, beaten by 26 lengths by Maya in 500,000 claimer. So that was way out of class. Before that, at 7 furlongs, was 5th by 25 lengths to the Real Identity, Money Box. That was another race that he was way outclassed in. And I think 7 furlongs is a bit stretching it on stamina for this Double the Cash. 7th of June, going 4 furlongs straight, came from off the pace to finish 5th by 4 lengths to Timekeeper. So that is telling me this Double the Cash, if he sits comfy and stalks the pace, maybe 4 or 5 lengths off it, and they crumble in the stretch, I think he has a good shot. At this level, against these horses who are very uncertain at this time, he's hacking and trotting, so I think he's sound. He's getting the weight relief from the 4 kilo claim. They've put the blinkers on now, so they definitely want him sharp. They want him closer to the pace. And if there's a pace scenario where they go too fast too soon, it wouldn't surprise me if Double the Cash upsets all calculations. The 8, Money Must. Now, Money Must gets Demar Williams here to claim 3 kilos for Ricardo Brown. probably the most consistent horse in the race. Last time I was 5th by 11 lengths in that race with Toots. After coming out of the gates extremely slow, was way behind the field, stayed out to finish 5th. Before that was 3rd by 5 lengths to I'm Interested, who came back and won recently. Toots was 2nd in that race, was only a short head in front of Money Moss. That was at this exact same distance. And before that was 2nd by 13 lengths to Show Me the Butcher, who had the lone speed. Nobody went with Show Me the Butcher and she ran away from them. Money Moss broke very slow that day as well and was staying on. So if Money Moss comes out of these gates cleanly, he is working coming to the race, he's hacking, he's canting, so he's kept fit, kept in shape. And if he gets a good start, I think Money Moss has a good shot of fighting this out. He does get this distance. But my most interesting horse in this race is going to be the 9, Leading Lad. This horse has only 4 starts and he's now 5 years old. Made his debut on the 19th of March 2023 when finishing 4th by 5 lengths to Loyal Action. The next start, same year, 2023, going 8 furlongs, finished 3rd by 12 lengths to Modern Miracle Home Alone. Broke his maiden in May of 2023, going 8.5 furlongs, making all the running, beating Joe Blaine and Life is Life. Comparing to this class back then, that's way above this level. Last time out was the 30th of November 2024 for 750,000 claimers. So that's coming off more than a year rest, going 5 furlongs straight, finished 8 by 9 lengths to Bugatti, Generational, Brompton Alex. So that's not being disgraced against those horses. Now returns, coming off an 8-month break and taking an even further drop in class. Gets an apprentice now to claim 4 kilos off of 116 pounds for trainer Michael Spencer. Trotting, coming into the event, probably swimming, so I think this horse definitely is fresh. He's trotting, so I think he's sound. And if this horse legs hold out at this low level, would not surprise me if this Leading Lad turns up and runs this field into the ground. But as I said, this is a very suspect race, so tread carefully. But those are the 5 I think it boils down to. The 5th race, 5 years and up, optional claiming 200,000. Native bred 6 years and up, non up 2. And native bred 5 years and up, maiden. 9 starters going 5 furlongs straight. This race is named after the stallion Zalukos. Another suspect race. This is one of those races any horse can win. We're going to boil it down to 5 that I think it comes down to. They're going to be the 1, Blinding Light. The 3, Galway Bay. The 5, Pip. The 6, Last Hurrah. And the 7, Time Bomb. Okay, Blinding Light comes in 126 pounds. Ratajmir Weir claims 4 kilos for trainer Gary Griffiths. Running consistent racing in the last few starts. Last time out, going 4 furlongs straight. Stayed down to finish 4th by a length and 3/4 to Answer Attack. Before that was 5th by 5 3/4 lengths to Queensland, going 4 furlongs straight. So it likes the straight course. His last run over the 5 straight course itself was finishing 2nd by half a length to Golden Emperor. So does have the class of this low level here. Gets the apprentice claim. Only drawback, he's drawn 1. And most of the time, a horse draw 1 with an apprentice on it. They're going to try to drift across the track and lose some ground. So that's my con for this Blinding Light, but should have a shot in here. The 3, Galway Bay, 126 pounds. Clive Lynch gets a ride here for Rudolph Hardell. Interesting, they've not called for an apprentice to take off any of this 126 pounds. They've called for veteran Clive Lynch. Represents the speed horse, I think, in this race, this Galway Bay. Now 9 years old. Clive Lynch is a very competent jockey when on a front runner. And over this quick galloping course, although Galway Bay has been known to come to a walk in the last furlong, as I said, is the speed horse here and probably the horse they're going to have to catch. His last win was over 4 furlongs straight at this level, beating Golden Emperor and Excuse Me Goodbye. So Galway Bay, from a forward position, looks like the horse they're going to have to catch. The 5, Pip, Andrew Wright riding here for Ricardo Brown. Last time out was 7 by 7 lengths to Queen Zan in that same 4 furlong straight race. Is capable of much better. His last win was at 5 years non-winners of 2, going 5.5 furlongs, when winning by a length and a half, beating Excuse Me Goodbye. Before that, over the 4 furlong straight at higher class, 250,000 claimers, back in October of 2024, going 4 furlongs straight. Tried to make all the running, but was caught and beaten into second by Sensational Satin. Had Buzz Assault behind in that race, although finishing lame. So it does have his issues, but he's trotting regularly at the exercise, so I think he's very sound coming into this race. And Pip is going to have a good shot here at this very low level. The 6, the fittest horse I think in the race, Last Hurrah, 126 pounds. Everett Clunas will claim 4 kilos for Byron Davis. Last time out going 5 round at this level, finishing second by 2 lengths to the very fit He's a Lion. had XY Soul behind there. Before that, in a 5-year-old maiden race, going 5 furlongs straight, ran on to win by 3 lengths over Body Move. Body Move came back to win. Blinding Light was third in that event. So I think Last Hurrah, possibly the fittest horse in the race, has 2 canters coming into the race, and looks like possibly the horse they might have to beat. And the 7, Time Bomb, 126 pounds, but Nicardo Carr will claim 4 kilos here for Ryan Darby. Only 5 starts, but the best run was last time out on the 6th of July, 4 furlongs straight, when trying to make all the running, but caught and beaten into third by a length and a half by Ants attacking that race recently. So fitness now exposed, cantering in the mornings, getting that 4 kilo claim, showed speed last time out, so expecting another good run from this Time Bomb. But as I said, this is a very suspect race, and if we can use as many horses as possible, I'd advise that. But those are the 5 I'm working with. The 6 race, 3-year-olds and up, optional claiming, 700,000 to 600,000, and 6-year-olds and up, nanos of 4, a field of 11, they go 7 furlongs. This is named after my grandfather, Cecil Charlton, other racing personality. Okay, I'm going to boil this race down to 4. They're going to be the 1, Sir John, the 4, Rusty, the 6, Sheboom, and the 7, Justin Biden. Okay, Sir John, 125 pounds, Shane Ellis riding here for Errol Sobrati. Oddly enough, winner last time out, the class above this, and they have dropped him down to 700,000 after winning $1 million last week. And that was an easy win. He won by 3 lengths with 120 pounds, beating Easy Peasy and Nakamura. Before that, in $1 million claimer, 7 furlongs, was second by half a length to Burning Valor. So the question sign is, why drop him down to a class below that level where he already won so easily? Maybe they want somebody to take him, but he does seem he's fit, he's working well, and definitely the horse I think they're going to all have to beat. The 4, Rusty, stepping up in class here after a very impressive win at the class below this, going 5.5 furlongs, won by 12 lengths, beating Lord of Agilon and Duke of Spring. But the impressive part to me is that Rusty did that going around the bend. Usually Rusty's generally running over the 5 straight. So Garvin Harris is here to claim 4 kilos for trainer Lennis Shim. And even though stepping up in class, that run last time out shows me that Rusty is probably the horse that's going to control the speed. And Morning Line says 30-1. Rusty is going to put in a good run from up front. The 6, that's Sheboom. Now Sheboom is a up and down horse. She will run good, she will run bad. She gets the services of Robert Halladine today, so that's a big plus in my book for Donovan Plummer. They say Morning Line is 99-1. I'll scratch that. I doubt that will happen. Last time out at this level, going 7.5 furlongs. Off the pace, third by 7 lengths, but faded to finish fourth by 21 lengths to Storm, who won by 14 lengths. Solo Black was in front of Sheboom that day. I'm going to toss that race out. Before that, at the same level, 7 furlongs, came from off the pace to finish second by 9 lengths to Tigray Express, who outclassed rivals. And Sheboom had Storm a length and a half behind in that race after coming out of the gate slow. So that's why I'm tossing that last run. Also before that, when at 500,000 claimers, going 7 furlongs was way too early for her own good, hit the front at the quarter pole, all the way to the furlong pole before being outkicked and finished second by a length to Solo Black, who's also present today. But in my opinion, I think Sheboom is better than Solo Black. And just the chance that Robert Halladine takes the ride on this horse, coming in at a big price, active at the exercise, from a clean break, and if they go too fast too soon, I think Sheboom is one of those horses that will stay on strong at the finish. And the 7, Justin Biden, Ray and Lewis riding here for Oral Hayden. Oral Hayden trading very well right now. Ray and Lewis riding very well right now. And this horse has run against way better horses in recent times. Last time out at this level, going 6.5 furlongs, came from far off the pace to finish second by 3 3/4 lengths to Nakamura. Before that was fifth by 16 lengths to down in class youngster Titan Tempo. Also had a good run back in March when trying to make all the running, but tired in the stretch to finish third to Sir John. Under a more controlled ride and more patient ride, I think this Justin Biden is definitely here with a maximum shot of upsetting Sir John, but that's left to be seen. They have removed the tongue tie. That's my only question sign here. Last time out, they took the tongue tie off, ran well to finish second, and they have now put it on back, but has run well in the tongue tie in the past, so that's not going to be the big issue here, but it's trotting and coming into this race, and depending on tactics, I think Justin Biden has a good chance of fighting this race out. So those are the 4 I boil it down to. As I said, Sir John looks like the obvious horse that they go all have to beat stepping back down to this level. I think Rusty at a good price, going to be a very dangerous horse on the front end. Justin Biden definitely has the back class to upset the favourite, and Sheboom, with her late run, could run on to grab a spot. The 7th race, nature bred 4-year-olds and up, nouns of 4, and imported 4-year-olds and up, nouns of 3. A field of 8 going 6 furlongs. This race is named after trainer Owen Silvera. This is a highly competitive race, and I'm going to leave some horses that a lot of people are going to question how I leave them, but it's just how I break the race down. So, boil this race down to 4. They are going to be the 2, Zulu Warrior, the 3, King's Crown, the 5, Riches to Rags, and the 6, Florin Dia. The 2, Zulu Warrior, 119 pounds, Shane Richardson riding for the very hot Adrian Prince. Last time out, absolutely dismantled a field at the class below this, beating Princess Fiani and Train of Thought, making all the running, surprisingly, because Zulu Warrior tends to sit off the pace and run on. So this looks like a rejuvenated Zulu Warrior. So even though stepping up in class here, after that performance last time out, Zulu Warrior definitely is in here with a good shot of repeating. The 3, King's Crown, Ryan Lewis riding for Stephen Todd, very fit right now, and is my idea of the speed horse of the event. And if they allow this King's Crown to hop into the lead and kick away, could prove a very tough target to get back to. Last time out, going 5.5, third by a length to Justin Big Time after being hackled most of the way. Didn't get his right run, had to start the pace instead of going for the lead. This time around, I think he gets the lead like when he did on the 26th of April, going 6 furlongs when he won by 6 lengths in 1 minute 13 and 2. So watch out for this King's Crown on the headline. Could prove a very, very elusive target. So that's the horse I think is going to have the bullseye on his back and the one they're all going to have to catch. The 5, morning line says 12-1, but this is the horse I like in the race. Riches to Rags, imported filly, Ian Spence riding here for Philip Fiani. Last time out was 6 in a 6 furlong race, was third by 10 lengths to Supernatural Power and Linguist. Before that at 7.5 furlongs, early in the pace. That's not Riches to Rags regular style, but was very early, then outkicked by Out of Class, Ride All Day, and Miss Grove. To me, that's a sharpening run to try to go pace with stablemate Ride All Day. That is in the classes above this, in my opinion, because those are against imported horses. So in my opinion, Riches to Rags is stepping down in class. I think 6 furlongs is perfect. Last good run over 6 furlongs was the class above this, finishing second by a length to Prince Aman. Immeasurable Joy finished third here, and Riches to Rags broke extremely slow that day. Prince Aman or Immeasurable Joy running here, I think they are the big favorites in the race. So just that mere fact that Riches to Rags is stepping back down in competition here, coming against a pace that has some horses that might try to go early fast, it sets up, in my opinion, perfectly for this Riches to Rags. Morning line says 12-1. That's a chance I'm willing to take a gamble on. And the 6, horse named Florin Dia, 118 pounds. Radish the Sneaky Fox Roman gets a ride here for Arnold Rambali. This horse raced in the United States at Tampa Bay Downs Mountaineer. Made local debut on the 24th of May 2025 at Overnight Allowance, going 5.5 furlongs. Prominent early, 4th by 2 lengths at the half mile before being outkicked in the final part of the race to finish 9 by 11 lengths. But that was being beaten by Unbelievable Force, Bunny Market, and Gurvano. So that's a big plus for this Florindia. Morning line says 8-5. Working well coming to this race, 28th of June. Gallop 6 furlongs in 1:15. And taking this drop down in class here with the Sneaky Fox in the saddle. This possibly is the horse that they're going to all have to beat. But as I said, I'm boiling down to 4. It's a very tricky race, very competitive race. Value for money for me though, if I was going to make a bet in the race, I'd take a chance with this Riches to Rags. The 8th race, the feature race of the day, a high octane pace sprint race. This is 3-year-olds and up stakes race for grade 2 horses, a field of 7 going 6 furlongs. It's the feature race for the Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame Stakes Trophy, and very interesting race. One thing I want to point out before this race, racing nowadays is being very unfair to local horses, because the imported horses that come into the country, it's not like 10 years ago when you had cheap claimers coming in. Some very good imported horses coming into the country, and when a local horse leaves the classic season as a 3-year-old, they have to jump in the head first in the deep end with some top class American horses. And I think they need to, on the program, put some races for local bred horses, some grade 1 races for local bred alone. Like back in the days, remember when you had the super stakes, that was for local bred horses. You had the imported mile on that. Now they scrap that race, they put the Jamaica Cup and invite imported horses to run in it. I think local horses are at a disadvantage. They need to put some races on the card for local bred horses. And I hear somebody saying, oh, but you don't have enough horses to run in these races. Yeah, because if you put 4 American horses in a race, what local horses are going to want to run in the race? You're going to only have probably 2 or 3 local horses that take the chance and go run with them. But if you have a local race for local sprinters or local milers, you're going to have horses going in that race. And I think they really need to take a deep look at that, because it's hurting these local horses. Look and Run Julie Run. A horse like that shouldn't be facing these top class horses just after her classic races, and she's just jumping in the deep end with these big horses, you know. Let them build themselves up like they used to do back in the good old days of racing at Caymanas Park. That's my little input. Okay, this race, I've boiled this race down to 4. They're going to be the 3 Wall Street Trader, the 4 Pack Plays, the 5 Digital One, and the 7 Legacy Isle. Okay, Wall Street Trader. This horse, 106 pounds, with Ramon Napier claiming 2 kilos for trainer Ron Matty. Ultra light coming into this race, capable of running against these. This, a matter of fact, this pace might suit Wall Street Trader because it's going to be very fast early. He does have speed, but he can sit and wait. And with this lightweight, stalking a speed pace, going 6 furlongs, I think he loves this trip. Wall Street Trader has a good shot at the handicaps to upset all calculations. The 4 Pack Plays. This horse is a 4-year-old colt, ultra fast, 115 pounds. Shane Richardson riding here for Rowan Matthew Jr. Same stables as Wall Street Trader. Now, Pack Play, best races since coming to Jamaica has been at 6.5 furlongs. So 6 furlongs is no stretch for this Pack Play. Is having a rematch here with Legacy Isle, who he beat on the 19th of April, going 6.5 furlongs when making all the running. Legacy Isle just could not keep up with Pack Plays that day. Going to have a little more pace in the race now for Pack Play, but is very classy, does have controlling speed, freshened up after his last run when beaten by Champion Bubbler, first time running over the straight. So he has an excuse. That was the first time Pack Plays was venturing over the 5 furlong straight and was second by a half a length to Champion Bubbler. Coming in here, I think they're going to shoot right for that lead. Has worked well coming in. They have a nice 48, so he's definitely fresh and fit coming into this race. Pack Play, going to give it his all once again and should fight this out. The 5 Digital One, imported filly, comes 115 pounds, but Richie Shakes will claim 3 kilos here for Gary Sabrati. Talented filly, does have her issues. She did pull up lame one time back on the 8th of March after winning by 4 lengths, but came right back after that to make all the running to win by half a length, beating Wall Street Trader and Pack Play. Pack Play did have an excuse that day. He did pitch right after the start. So an excuse there was for Pack Play, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Digital One is a very classy horse. Had a lackluster run in a 5 furlong straight race, same race won by Champion Bubbler where Pack Place finished second. She swerved badly at the start and just did not participate. On the 7th of June though, in the Eros Trophy, going 7 furlongs, she tried to make all the running in that race where Commandant fell. Tistock ran on strong to catch her and win that day. She had Wall Street Trader just a neck behind. That was at 7 furlongs. Coming back down to 6 furlongs now, going to suit this Digital One even more. Last time out going 5.5 against Legacy Isle. Had a bad start once again and was behind the field. Stayed on to finish 4th by 10 lengths. They've now put on the figure 8 back on. They took it off last time out. It's now back on. So I think the right Digital One will turn up. She's also one of those horses who does not have to gun it for the lead early. She can stalk and sit behind the runners. So this Digital One coming in light definitely has a good shot here at putting in another capital effort. And the 7, the rejuvenated Legacy Isle, 126 pounds, Radish Roman riding here for Ron Crichton. So giving away a ton of weight to some very fast horses, but is on a hat trick of wins. Last time out at 5.5 furlongs, made all the running to dominate and win by 8 lengths. Beating 2 horses that were stepping up in class though with lightweights, Fearless Soul and Chocomo. So the performance, although 126 pounds, he was beating lesser lights. Before that, over the straight 5 course, made all the running to win by 4 3/4 lengths from Champion Bubbler and Mahogany. Mahogany is present here today. I was going to put him in this, but at 8 years old and with the speed factor of the race, I think he might be found wanting in the stretch. So that's why I didn't really put Mahogany here, although he's the back class horse of the event. Much respect still goes out to Mahogany. I just think he might be out sped early in this event. But back to Legacy Isle. He had a win going 5 furlongs run in overnight allowance, beating Chocomo. So that's 2 times now Chocomo has run good to this Legacy Isle. And this rematch with Pack Play won't be an easy rematch. Legacy Isle looks classy, wins very impressively, but now going to be facing real pace at this level. Legacy Isle is going to have to put every foot right to pull this off. So those are the 4 I'm boiling it down to. Pack Plays gets my nod to get the job done with his dominant speed. I think Digital One has a glorious shot at fighting him for the win. Legacy Isle, burdened by top weight, but does have a lot of class. And Wall Street Trader, if they all crumble up on the front end, he could probably be the horse finishing the best. And as I said, you know, you can't knock the old stager Mahogany. He might be have a few shots left to fire and could surprise. But as I said, it's pack plays for me. But as I said before, tipping this race, you know, I'm advocating for the local bred horses. You know, I think they're at a disadvantage. Two of them in this race, California Crown and Mahogany. California Crown coming extremely light. You know, I'd root for California Crown to win this, to be honest. I just think the pace scenario is not going to suit California Crown coming up in class, even though very light. But I would root for California Crown or Mahogany, being the two local horses in the race. But I just have to work it out as I see it. The 9th race, native bred 4-year-olds and up, non-runners of 3, and imported 4-year-olds and up, non-runners of 2. Big field of 11, going 7 furlongs. This race is named for racehorse Kadula. This race, very competitive race, very tricky race. Going to go out on a limb and leave some horses that a lot of you going to think should be in this. But just how I work out this race, I think this race could be an upset race. So, boil this down to 4. They're going to be the 1, Oil Machine, the 6, King Pie, the 7, Princess Fiani, and the 9, Playfair. Okay, Oil Machine. Radish Roman riding for Philly Elliott. Very fit right now. Back-to-back seconds. On the 7th of June, was second by a short head after leading by 4 lengths from the top of the lane. Caught by Jay Spieth. Next time out, coming a mile. Pressed the pace and was caught by Provident, who went up in class and ran another good race. So this Oil Machine very fit right now. 7 furlongs, just about perfect for Oil Machine. Still busy at the exercise, and looks like the horse that they're going all have to beat. The 6, King Pie, disappointing runner. Shane Ellis now gets a ride here, once again for Anthony Nunes. Would have expected this horse to have left this class a long time ago, but this horse is a deep closer. Has no real early pace, tends to set way off the pace and then come with a run. Last time out, tried to stalk a little closer and finished third by 3 lengths to Provident and Oil Machine. I think very effective at 7 furlongs. If you check back to the 20th of December, going 7.5 furlongs, coming from far off the pace, was third by 4 lengths to his out-of-class stablemate Supremacy and another good horse, Main Mistress. A reproduction of that run in this race, knowing that King Pie is fit, would see King Pie winning this race. But that's big question signs there. But does look very, very fit coming into this race, and I like him to fight it out. The 7, Princess Fiani, 118 pounds. Wesley Henry riding here for Omar Williams. This was my gamble horse last time out, going 6 furlongs, and ran up in a rejuvenated Zulu Warrior and had to settle for second by 15 lengths at 20-1. Comes back here fighting fit, stretched out to 7 furlongs, is capable of getting 7 furlongs, does have some tactical speed, and if this horse decides to skip on the front end and not pressured early, could cause some scares in the stretch. And my horse that I'm willing to take another chance and I'll put a few bucks on is going to be the 9, Playfair, also trained by Anthony Nunes. Romain Garden now claiming 4 kilos. Once again, this is the 3rd start now for ride for Romain Garden. But last time out, going 6 furlongs, tailed off early and came home flying to finish 5th by 3 lengths in that race with the General. That was at 6 furlongs. I think 7 furlongs, possibly right up the alley of this Playfair. Looking a very difficult horse to train, but Nunes still struggles on, fights with him, has him working still. The pace scenario sets up perfect for him. If he gets to stay close enough to the race, I think he's going to have a fighting chance. I like the run he ran on the 14th of June, going 9 furlongs. Stretched out of his depth, but he was prominent all the way to the half mile, beaten 38 lengths. I'm going to wipe that part out. I'm looking at his early part of the race for a horse who does not show speed. He was very early, prominent before fading. I think that's a sharpening run. 7 furlongs now, I think the ideal trip. 12-1 morning lines, very nice value for money. I think I'm going to take one more chance on this Playfair. Wouldn't surprise me if Nunes runs the 1-2, but Oil Machine looks like the horse they're going all have to beat. The 10th and final, this is a native bred 3-year-old fillies, maiden race, a big field of 13. They go 5 furlong round. This is named after broodmare Grecian Fable, the mother of Vestia and Eros. Okay, this race is a big field of horses that has unknown potential. So we're going to have to be very careful here. I'm going to boil this race down to 5, and I hope my winner is in this 5. They're going to be the 4, Prima Suprema, the 9, You're My Sweetie, the 10, Altogether, the 12, Miss Brayton, and the 13, Joyful Surprise. Okay. Number 4, Prima Suprema, Charlton riding here for Jason DaCosta. 1 start, 5 furlong straight on the 15th of June. Not a bad run, finished third to Native Fly and Enthusiastic. Better for that run, has worked well coming to this race. Out the gate, 5 furlong straight in 103 and 3. So kept sharp, and this Prima Suprema, expecting a much better race. Let's see how she handles going around the bend. The 9, that's going to be You're My Sweetie. Paul Francis riding here for Gary Sobrati. 3 starts to date, hasn't really shown much, but I like this run on the 14th of June in the class above this, going 6 furlongs against Danka, Margarita, and Prince Kazir. Prominent, but outclassed, finished 4th by 43 lengths. But just the fact that Sobrati put her in the race, although it was a full of a stablemate, Margarita did run creditable, stepped back down to this level at 6.5 furlongs, did nothing, cut back in distance now, and I think a much better run is expected from this You're My Sweetie at a very big price. The 10 Altogether, Demar Williams claims 3 kilos here for Ryan Darby. Consistent in the last few starts. Last time out, 5 furlongs round this distance. Tried to make all the running before being outkicked by Duchess and Legal Fight. So coming in here fighting fit right now. Had a good run at 6 furlongs when finishing second by 7 lengths to Queen Latifah. Had Woman in Love behind in that race. Woman in Love has come back to win a race. So this Altogether looks to be getting her act together and look like she's poised to fight this race out. The 12, Miss Brayton, Radish Roman riding here for Ricardo Brown. In my opinion, I think this is the horse they might all have to beat. Last time out going 6.5 furlongs. Prominent before being out finished by Roaring Kitty, Duchess, and Cutout. Before that going 6 furlongs. Prominent, and then finishing third by 9 lengths to Alive. Alive came back, went up in class and ran well. In that race, Miss Brayton was off slow. So very capable. Has some good runs. Has a nice third behind Riley J. And the Woogie Waggy Links. Woogie Waggy Links came back to win. So even though finishing 5th on the 4th of May behind Queen Latifah and Altogether finished in front of Miss Brayton that day, I think, in my opinion, Miss Brayton is the horse to beat. They've now taken off the figure 8. So expecting a big run from Miss Brayton and possibly the horse. And in my opinion, from a clean start, I think she might be the horse to beat. And the 13, Joyful Surprise, Wesley Henry riding here for Tenzan Chung. Only 2 starts to date. On debut, finished 9 by 15 lengths to Global Pursuit. Next start was the 15th of June. In that 5 furlong straight, won by Native Flyer. Was pressing the pace all the way to the final furlong before being outkicked. Now they've taken off the tongue tie and added the figure 8. Working well coming to this. So in this very competitive looking race, I bought those 5. Watch out for the long shots. But as I said, in my opinion, I think Miss Brayton is the horse they're going to have to beat. Okay, guys, that's it for this race day. Sorry for making this video so long. It's just that the races just look so competitive and I had to really dig deep into it. Usually, the feature race I try to make a video by itself because I like to go through all the horses. But excuse this video for being so long. I'll try my best to cut it back next time out. So good luck in the racing, and as always, stay safe.